Welcome to CBN News Special YouTube Live. It's Wednesday here, February 26th, and another sad day in Israel. It's the day of the funeral for Shiri Bibas and her two precious sons, Ariel and Kfir. The little red-headed boys and video of them in their frightened mother's arms became kind of the icon of the treachery and cruelty that Hamas perpetrated on October 7th and that the world has seen from them since then. Their father, Yarden, was released on February 1st after more than 500 days in captivity, only to receive the bodies of his wife and children back 3 weeks later. That was last week. The family was abducted on October 7th from their kibbutz near Oz home. According to Israeli police, they say about 100,000 people lined the roads in southern Israel in support of the Bibas family today as the funeral procession passed by. Some said it was the saddest day, but others noted that the tragedy had actually united Israelis from the left and right with one heart, probably mostly a broken heart. The president's residence and the Knesset were lit up with orange, which had become this symbolic color for the Bibases, representing the ginger-haired little boys. The Knesset opened today with a moment of silence, and the entire front page of the Jerusalem Post was orange, with a message that read, an entire nation in tears bids farewell to Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir. May they rest in peace, awaiting the return of all the hostages now. Prior to the funeral, the Bibas family released a statement saying they were strengthened by the masses of people of Israel that had gathered around them. And Yarden apologized for not being able to come and give each and every one of them in the crowd a hug, and hoped that they would be united in the future in moments of joy and not sadness. At the funeral, Yarden expressed his love for his wife, whom he said was his best friend. He apologized for not being able to protect them and told good memories about each one of them. He also said that his wife he said, "You always helped me make decisions. Who will help me now?" And he said, I remember the last decision we made. We were in the bomb shelter together, and I said, should we fight them, or should we surrender? And she said, no, we should fight. And so he went out of the shelter. He said, if I would have known what was going to happen, I never would have fired. But he told good memories about them and how Ariel, who was 4 years old when he was taken, had made him a father, and that the little one, Kfir, had completed and perfected their family. His sister, Shiri's sister, also spoke at the funeral. They were laid to rest at a Moshav Zohar, and they were laid to rest next to the parents of Shiri and Shiri's sister, who were also killed on October 7th. So we had 3 generations from October 7th. The grandparents, Shiri, and her 2 sons, Ariel and Kfir. So it's a very, very hard day in Israel. Tomorrow, Hamas has agreed to finish out the first ceasefire round of the first ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. They have agreed to return the bodies of 4 more hostages, and Israel, in exchange, will release the 602 prisoners whose release was delayed on Saturday, following the hostage release on Saturday, because the bodies, because of Hamas, the way they were parading and the other hostages. So the bodies will come back tomorrow, and Israel will release more than 600 prisoners. Many of them were in jail for committing terror attacks, killing Israelis. This exchange finishes the commitment for the first phase of the Israel-Hamas ceasefire deal, which technically ends on March 1st or next week. But President Trump's special Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, had to delay his arrival in the region. He was supposed to arrive today for further talks, but said he believes he can get an extension for the first phase and the release of more hostages. After tomorrow, after these bodies are returned, there will be 59 hostages left in Gaza. At least 21 are believed to be alive. That means that the majority of them are not. Israel is just brokenhearted today. It's been a very tough time for Israel. It's been agonizing. And the division that it's also created, the different theories about how the war should be carried out. But it's been a very, very tough time for Israel. We just ask you to, keep praying. Pray for the release of the hostages. Pray that Israel will be able to have the victory, that Hamas will no longer rule in the Gaza Strip, that this evil will be cut off. And it's not just for the sake of the Israelis, it's for the sake of the Palestinians. We don't know how many are innocent. I don't know. But we don't know. You know what? Only God knows our hearts, whether you're an Israeli or a Palestinian, but he's calling, and he says he's not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to know him. And that's what we hope for. That's what we need to pray for. We need to pray that this thing will be finished, this war will be finished, that Israel will have a total victory, and that we'll be able to go forward in this region and have peace. So thank you for joining us on this special YouTube Live, Sad Day in Israel. Thank you very much, and keep praying for the hostages and their release. Thank you.